Yeah.
मी करते ना आवाज कोण जेवण बनलंय. काय बोल? काय?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. So, can we wait for some time? One. It's already 8:05.
Sir, we'll wait, sir, 2 to 3 minutes. Only 4 members are there.
So the remaining members will be joined shortly. Okay, no
Yes, sir.
issue.
We'll 2 to 3 minutes. Otherwise, we'll start.
Last topic was where we stopped last time. So, Last time we was at 4.7 excavation activity, right?
Yes.
Last time we stopped here, no? Excavation activity.
Yes, sir. Yeah, 60.
Yeah. So let me know when all member join.
Sir, we will start, sir. It is 8:10 now.
We will start now. For me, during meantime, other member will just. So our 4.7 is the excavation activity. Excavation, it means digging. So excavation is a common construction activity that involves removal of soil, rock, and other material from the ground to create trenches, foundation, or other structural elements. Safety is crucial when using and operating machineries, equipment for excavation. Here are some considerations for ensuring safety in the excavation operation. This is the diagram of excavation. So, equipment selection. Choose appropriate machinery and equipment for excavation based on the specific requirement of the project, soil condition, and excavation depth. Ensure that the equipment is in good working condition, regularly inspected, and properly maintained. Operator training. Provide comprehensive training to equipment operator involved in the excavation activities. Ensure they are properly trained on the safe operation of the equipment, including the understanding equipment control, safety feature, and operating procedures specific to excavation, specific to excavation operation. Personal protective equipment. All personnel involved in the excavation operation should be wear appropriate PPE to protect themselves from potential hazard. These may include hard hat, safety glasses, high visibility clothing, gloves, and steel toe boots, means gumboot or safety shoes. Site assessment and planning. conduct a thorough site assessment before initiating excavation activities. Identify potential hazards such as underground utility, unstable soil, nearby structure, or environmentally sensitive areas. Develop detailed plan for excavation method, including proper sloping, offshoring, and shoring technique. Excavation, sloping, and shoring. Implement proper excavation, sloping, or shoring system to ensure the stability of excavation wall. Follow engineering specifications, OSHA regulation, and industry best practices for selecting and installing appropriate sloping and shoring method. Utilities location. Before excavation, locate and mark underground utilities such as gas lines, water pipes, or electrical cable. Use appropriate utility locating techniques such as contacting utilities company or using utility detection equipment to minimize the risk of damaging utility lines during excavation. Access and egress. Provide safe access and egress point for worker entering and exiting the excavation site. These may include properly designed and maintained ladder, ramps, stairway. Ensure that access points are clearly marked and free from obstruction. Trenching and benching. Follow proper trenching and benching technique to prevent soil collapse. This may involve creating sloping or step side in the excavation or by using protective system such as shoring, shielding, or trench boxes. The depth and width of the trench should be in accordance with the relevant regulation and engineering guidelines. Atmospheric monitoring. Test the atmosphere with excavation for hazardous gases, vapors, or lack of oxygen before workers enter. Use gas detector and proper ventilation system to ensure a safe working environment inside the excavation. Emergency preparedness. Develop and communicate an emergency response plan specific to excavation activities. Include procedure for addressing potential accidents, injuries, and equipment failure. Ensure that first aid kit, fire extinguisher, emergency contact information are readily available on the site. Regular compliance. Adheres to all relevant safety regulation, code, and industry standard for excavation operation. Familiarize yourself with local regulation and guidelines to ensure compliance with local requirement. By implementing these safety measures and promoting a safety culture of the safety on construction site, the risks associated with the excavation activity can be minimized and safe working environment can be maintained for all personnel involved. Regular training, thorough inspection, and effective communication are essential for ensuring the successful and safe execution of excavation operation. Excavation equipments. Excavation equipments refer to machinery and tool used in the process of digging, moving, removing of soil, rocks, and other material during excavation activity. The choice of equipment depends on the scale of the project, type of soil, or the material being excavated, and the specific requirement of the job. Some commonly used excavation equipments are first excavators. Excavator, also known as digger or hydraulic excavator, are versatile machine equipped with bucket and rotating cap. They are used for wide range of excavation tasks, including digging trench, removal of soil, loading truck. Excavator come in various sizes from the compact mini excavator to large hydraulic excavator. Backhoe loader. Backhoe loaders are versatile machine that combines the loader on the front and backhoe on rear. They are commonly used for excavation, trenching, and loading trucks. Backhoe loaders are smaller and more maneuverable than excavator, making them suitable for smaller construction sites. Then bulldozers. Bulldozers are heavy-duty machine equipped with a large blade in front. They are used for pushing or removing large quantity of soil, debris, or rock. Bulldozers are particularly effective in the rough grading, leveling surface, and creating access road on the construction site. These are some uh, pictures of photographs. Here we see the motor graders, trenchers, excavator, common dump trunk, crawler loaders, skid steer loader, scraper, bulldozers, and backhoe loaders. Then fourth is skid steer loader. Skid steer loaders are compact machine with a small turning radius. They are equipped with bucket attachment and that allow for digging and loading tasks. Stick tier loaders are only used in tight and confined space where maneuverability is essential. Trenchers. Trenchers are specialized machine. Sorry. Trenchers are specialized machine designed for digging the narrow and deep trenches. They feature a rotating digging chain with cutting teeth that excavate soil or rock as the machine moves forward. Trenchers are commonly used in utility installation, pipeline project, and irrigation system. Dump truck. Dump truck are used for transporting excavated material such as soil, rock, or debris from excavation site to designated location. They come in the various sizes and capacities, including standard dump truck, articulate dump truck, and off-road dump truck. Compactors Compactors are used to compress and compact soil, gravel, or asphalt surfaces. They are commonly used to prepare the ground before construction, such as road construction or building foundation. Compactor can be vibratory or static, both, and they help achieve a stable and level surface. Then demolition equipment. In some excavator projects, demolition equipment such as hydraulic breakers or crusher may be required to remove existing structure or break down large rock or concrete. It's important to note that safe operation of excavation equipment require proper training, adherence to manufacturer guidelines, and compliance with relevant safety regulation. Regular equipment inspection and maintenance are also essential to ensure optimal performance and minimize the risks of accident on the construction site. Now we move to 4.9 ट्रेंचिंग एक्टिविटी. आवाज क्लियर आ रही है?
आ रहा है सर. No problem.
हाँ क्लियर है.
Trenching is a construction activity that involves the excavation for long, narrow trenches for various purposes such as laying pipeline, cable, or foundation. Safety is paramount when it comes to using and operating machineries or equipment during trenching operation. Some key consideration for ensuring the safety in the trenching. First, equipment selection. Choose appropriate machinery and equipment for trenching based on specific requirement of the project, soil condition, trench dimension. Ensure that the equipment is in good working condition, regularly inspected, and properly maintained. Second point, operator training. So provide comprehensive training to equipment operator involved in trenching activity. Ensure they are properly trained on the surface operation of the equipment, including understanding equipment control, safety features, and operating procedure specific to trenching operation. Then personal protective equipment. All personnel involved in the trenching operation should wear appropriate PPE to protect themselves from potential hazard. These may include hard hats, safety glasses, high visibility clothing, gloves, and steel toe boots. Site assessment and planning. Conduct a thorough site assessment before initiating the trenching activity. Identify potential hazards such as underground utility, unstable soil, or adjacent surface. Develop a detailed plan for excavation, including proper trench dimensions, shoring equipment, and sloping angle. Trench stability. Ensure the stability of the trench wall by implementing proper trench support systems such as shoring, sloping, or shielding. Follow engineering specification, OSHA regulation, and manufacturer guideline for selecting and installing appropriate trench support. Inspection and maintenance. Regularly inspect trenching equipment including excavator, backhoe, or trenchers to ensure remain in a good working condition. Check for sign of wear, damage, or malfunction and address any issue promptly. Maintain a record of inspection and repair. Hazardous atmospheres. Test the trench atmosphere for hazardous gases, vapor, and lack of oxygen before workers enter. For that, use gas detectors, proper ventilation system, that is mechanical ventilation system, to ensure a safe working environment inside trench. Spoil piles and material storage. Properly manage spoil piles and material removed from the trench to prevent collapse or sliding. Keeps a spoil pile and material storage area at a safe distance from the edges of trench. Traffic control and signage. Establish proper traffic control measures and signage to control access around the trenching site. Use barrier, cones, or sign to prevent unauthorized entry and ensure the safety of the worker and pedestrian. Emergency preparedness. Develop and communicate an emergency response plan specific to activity, including procedure for addressing potential accidents, injuries, and equipment failure. Ensure that first aid kit, fire extinguisher, and emergency contact information are readily available on the site. By implementing these safety measures and following the relevant regulation and guidelines, construction companies can create a safe working environment during trenching operation. Regular training, proper equipment maintenance, and effective communication are vital for ensuring the safety of the personnel involved in the trenching activities. Then 4.10 excavation trenching procedure. यहाँ तक किसी को कोई इशू है, प्रॉब्लम है 4.9 तक?
नहीं सर।
नहीं ना, आगे चले फिर।
Yes, sir.
4.10 excavation and trenching procedures. How we perform this? Excavation and trenching procedure are crucial to ensure the safety of the worker and prevent accident in construction and other industries that involve digging trenches. Excavation, the ground. Excavation refers to the process of removing earth to create a cavity or hole, while trenching involves digging narrow and deep excavation. The key procedure and safety measure for excavation and trenching are: first is a pre-planning and assessment. So, before starting any excavation or trenching work, conduct a thorough pre-planning assessment, identify potential hazards, assess the soil condition, and determine the depth and width of the excavation or trench. Utility locating. Identify and mark the location of underground utilities, that is gas line, water line, electrical cable, or any other, to avoid accidental damage during excavation. Competent person, designate a competent person who is trained and experienced in the excavation and trenching safety to oversee the work and ensure the compliance with safety protocol. Protective system, select and implemented appropriate system based on the type of soil and depth of excavation. Protective system can include sloping, shoring, shielding, and benching. Sloping and benching. Sloping involves cutting back the slides of excavation at an angle to prevent collapse. Benching uses a series of steps to create a safe and stable trench. Shoring and shielding. Shoring uses support such as beam, hydraulic jack, or trench boxes to prevent soil collapse. Shielding involves using trench boxes or trench shield to protect worker inside the trench. Entry and exit provides safe access and exit for worker entering and exiting the excavation trench. Use ladder or ramp that extend at least 3 feet above the excavation. Daily inspection, conduct daily inspection of the excavation and trench to check the signs of instability, water accumulation, and other potential hazard. Atmospheric testing, test the air quality inside excavation for presence of hazardous gases. Hazardous gases means oxygen deficiency, toxic fumes, or methane and other toxic gases before worker enters. Traffic control, if the excavation is near roadway or pedestrian, then implement traffic control measure to protect the worker and the public. Soil and storage, store the excavated soil and material at a safe distance from the edge of excavation to prevent collapse. Barricade and warning sign, use barricades and warning signs to prevent unauthorized entry into excavation area and alert people of potential hazard. Training and communication, provide comprehensive work training to the worker on excavation and trenching safety, including emergency response procedure, maintain a clear communication on the work site, weather consideration, be mindful for weather condition as heavy rain and other adverse weather can increase risks of collapse and instability. So during that time, you have to stop your excavation work. Emergency rescue plan, develop a detailed emergency rescue plan and ensure that all workers are aware of the procedure in case of an incident. By following this procedure and implementing safety measures, excavation and trenching can be conducted with reduced risks, promoting a safe work environment for all workers involved in the project. Regular monitoring and adherence to safety protocol are crucial throughout the excavation and trenching process. Then 4.11 underground utility identification procedure and technique. So underground utility identification is a crucial process to locate and mark the presence of buried utilities before any excavation or construction work takes place. It helps to prevent damage to utility line, ensuring the safety of the worker and public. Some procedures, I think हमारा ये हो गया था. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
I thought
Hello?
हमारा ये हुआ था.
ये चैप्टर सर
हाँ.
नहीं सर
I thought हुआ था. चलो ठीक है. So obtain as build drawing record ये सब हुआ था हमारा.
लेकिन सर 4.7 लास्ट टाइम बंद किया था
चलो कोई दिक्कत नहीं, कवर कर लेती इसको.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So obtain a as-built drawing and record from utility companies or municipal authorities. These documents provide information on location and underground utilities such as water line, gas line, sewer line, telecommunication, and electrical cable. Utility locating services, hire professional utility locating services that use specialized equipment to detect and mark the presence of underground utilities. There are various techniques for utility locating, that is electromagnetic locating, in use of electromagnetic signal to detect the conductivity or conductive utility lines like electrical cables and metal pipe. Underground penetration radar, what is called GPR, uses radar wave to detect the changes in the surface material, useful for locating non-conductive utilities like plastic pipe and others. Radio frequency locating utility lines with radio frequency signals. Utility marking color, use universal color code system to mark the location of underground utilities. The American Public Work Association APWA has established color code for different type of utilities. Red is electrical power cables, conduit lines and lighting cable. ऑरेंज कम्युनिकेशन लाइन, इसको थोड़ा जो कलर कोडिंग है इसको करके रख लो क्योंकि ये आपके एमसीक्यू में आ सकता है. लाइटिंग केबल्स, ऑरेंज कम्युनिकेशन लाइन, टेलीफोन, डाटा केबल, फाइबर ऑप्टिक्स. फॉर येलो, गैस लाइन, ऑयल लाइन, स्टीम और प्रोपेन लाइन. ब्लू, वाटर लाइन. ग्रीन, सीवर लाइन एंड ड्रेन लाइन. पर्पल, reclaim water and irrigation line. And
हेलो
pink,
सर.
temporary service
हेलो
marks. हाँ
सर, आई थिंक ये
बोलिए.
लास्ट वीक में ही हुआ था चैप्टर ये.
हाँ मैं वही कह रहा हूँ, ये हो चुका है हमारा.
यस यस सर, आई थिंक लास्ट वीक में ही हुआ था ये.
और सर 4.14 तक हुआ है लगता है मेरे को.
हाँ 4.14 तक हुआ होगा.
Yes, sir.
यूटिलिटी
Drilling and
डिटेक्टर टेक्निक भी होता.
drilling and blasting activity
अच्छा,
लिखा है.
ये भी खत्म हुआ, ये भी खत्म हुआ
4.14
था.
sir. Drilling and blasting sir.
हाँ ये ब्लास्टिंग एंड ऑपरेशनिंग, हाँ ये ड्रिलिंग एंड ब्लास्टिंग ऑपरेशन एक्टिविटी. तो चलो यहीं से शुरू करते हैं हम.
इधर से चलो. एक्चुअली अभी क्लियर हो रहा है सर. वो रनिंग हो रहा था, जल्दी क्लियर नहीं हुआ.
क्योंकि वो जो आया ना, क्योंकि ये पढ़ा चुका हूँ मैं, ये लग रहा था मुझे.
नहीं सर, अभी मैं भी चेक किया. मैं जो पीडीएफ में चेक किया तो अभी समझ में आ रहा है सर. 4.14 तक हुआ है.
तो अभी यहाँ से शुरू करें हम 4.14 से, क्योंकि
Yes, sir.
वही रिपीट करने से कोई फायदा नहीं है. सो ड्रिलिंग एंड ब्लास्टिंग एक्टिविटी. ड्रिलिंग एंड ब्लास्टिंग एक्टिविटी, ड्रिलिंग एंड ब्लास्टिंग क्या होता है? ब्लास्टिंग मींस एक्सप्लोजन करके हम उसको डिगिंग करते हैं. ड्रिलिंग में बाय प्रॉपर ड्रिल करके उसको एक्सकेवेशन करते हैं. तो ड्रिलिंग एंड ब्लास्टिफिकेशन is a construction activity commonly used in mining, quarrying, and construction project to break rock and other material. It involves the use of specialized machineries and equipment as well as the explosive to create the hole or fracture in the material. Safety is of utmost importance when using and operating machineries equipment for during drilling and blasting. Some key considerations. Equipment selection. Choose appropriate drilling and blasting machinery and equipment based on specific requirement of the project. Geological condition, material properties. Ensure that equipment is in good working condition, regular inspected and properly maintained. Operator training. Provide thorough training to the equipment operator and worker involved in the drilling and blasting activity. Ensure they are properly trained on safe work operation. The equipment including understanding equipment control, safety feature and operating procedure specific to drilling and blasting operation. PPE, personal protective equipment. All persons involved in the drilling and blasting operation should wear appropriate PPE to protect themselves from potential hazard. These may include hard hat, safety glasses, hearing protection, respiratory protection, and gloves. Steel toe boots, site assessment and planning. Conduct a comprehensive assessment of a work site before initiating drilling and blasting activity. Identify potential hazards such as unstable geological formation, nearby structures, underground utilities. Develop a detailed plan for hole placement, drilling pattern, and explosives which are used, considering the safety distance and clearance equipment. Explosive handling and storage. Follow proper procedure for handling, storage, and transportation of explosive. Ensure compliance with local regulations and industry best practices. Store explosive in designated magazine and restricted access to authorized person only. Blast area security. Establish appropriate blast area security measures to prevent unauthorized access to the blast site. Clearly mark the boundaries and post warning sign to alert personnel of potential danger. Control traffic in the area and communicate the blast timing effectively. ब्लास्टिंग में आपको वो भी देखना होता है कि उस कौन सा आप एक्सप्लोजिव यूज कर रहे हैं, उसका रेडियस कितना है, एरिया जितना एरिया कवर है उसके बाहर ही आपका साइनेज और सिग्नल होने चाहिए. वहां अनऑथराइज एंट्री रिस्ट्रिक्टेड करनी है और टाइमिंग जो हो इफेक्टिवली हो. देन blast designing and timing. Develop blast design that minimize the potential of flare-offs, underground vibration, or air overpressure. Use appropriate delay timing sequences to ensure controlled and safe blast. Conduct thorough pre-blast survey to assess potential impact on nearby structure or sensitive areas. Air quality monitoring. Implemented proper air quality monitoring system to measure, control dust, fumes, and gases generated during drilling and blasting activities. Provide ventilation, dust separation system, or dust separation measures to maintain acceptable air quality level in the work area. Emergency preparedness. Develop and communicate an emergency response plan specific to drilling and blasting activity, including procedure for addressing potential accidents, injuries, or equipment failure. Ensure that first aid kits, fire extinguisher, and emergency contact information are readily available on the sites. Regulatory compliances, adherence to all safety regulations, code, and industry standard for drilling and blasting operation. Familiarize yourself with local regulation and guidelines to ensure compliance with legal requirement. By following these safety measures and promoting a safety on the construction site, the risks associated with drilling and blasting activity can be minimized and safe working environment can be maintained for all persons involved. So regular training, thorough inspection, and effective communications are essential for ensuring successful and safe execution of the drilling and blasting operation. So safety in drilling and blasting method in construction areas, you've seen that this is the blast source. See the diagram. Actual air blast happened in first zone, then ground vibration and phase waves that destroyed or that damaged the structure. Apart from the fly rocks and ashes are spread all over the area. You have to control that one. You have to mark that area. So safety is of utmost importance when using drill and blast method in the construction, especially activities such as mining, tunneling, and rock excavation. These methods involve controlled use of explosive to break the rock or concrete, and if not executed carefully, they can pose significant risks or harm to worker and the surrounding environment. Some essential key considerations for drill and blast operation in the construction are: first, competent person. So only qualified and trained competent person with experience in drill and blast operation should be involved in planning and execution of the process. Blast design. Develop a blast design that consider the type of rock of the material, geometry of the excavation, and the desired fragmentation. Design should aim to minimize the variation, flare rock, and ground displacement. Pre-blast survey. Conduct a pre-blast survey to assess the condition of nearby structure, utility, and environmentally sensitive areas. This helps identify potential hazard and set exclusion zone. Blast area isolation. Restrict access to the blast area to authorized personnel only. Establish clear exclusion zone to keep worker and the public at safe distance during the blasting. Warning signals. Use standardized warning signals such as siren, air horn to alert the personnel of an implementing the impending blast, ensuring that all workers are aware of the signal and their meaning. Blast site communication. Maintain clear communication between blaster, site supervisor, and all persons involved in the blast. Verify that everyone is in the safe location before initiating the blast. Storage and handling of hazardous or handling of explosive. Store explosive in designated or secured storage area. Follow proper handling procedure to prevent accidental detonation. Blast hole inspection. Inspect the blast hole before loading to ensure they are clear of obstruction and debris that could lead to misfire. Controlled detonation. Initiate the blast using safe and controlled detonation method. Avoid avoid using misfire and have contingency plan for handling them if occurred. Fly rocks control. Implement measures to control fly rocks as using blasting mats, shield, or buffer holes. Vibration monitoring. Monitoring ground vibration during blasting to ensure that they stay within the acceptable limit to avoid damage to nearby structure. Seismograph monitoring. Use seismograph to measure the sensitivity of seismic wave generated by the blast. Post-blast inspection. Conduct a post-blast inspection to assess the result and ensure that the blast was executed as planned. Emergency response plan. Develop a comprehensive emergency response plan. Develop a comprehensive emergency response plan to address any unexpected incident or accident during blasting. PP. Ensure that all workers wear appropriate PPE such as hard hat, safety goggles, and hearing protection to protect them from potential hazards. By adhering these safety consideration and maintaining strict adherence to industry best practices, drill and blast operation can conduct safely, minimize the risk to worker, the public, and the environment. Regular safety training and ongoing monitoring of the blast activity are essential to maintain a safe work environment during construction projects that involve explosives. Licensed and authorized explosive blaster. Use of explosive in construction is highly regulated to ensure safety and prevent accident. In most countries, individual involved in the explosive thing in construction must obtain specific license and authorized to handle, transport, and use of explosives legally. The exact requirement and the regulation may vary from one jurisdiction area to other, but some common element include explosive handling license. Explosive handling license are issued to individuals who have received formal training and demonstration competence in the safe handling and storage of explosive. A blasting license is typically required for individuals who will be responsible for planning and executing the blasting operation in construction project. It ensures that person is qualified to conduct blasting safely and efficiently. Regulatory knowledge application applicant for blasting license must often pass examination to demonstrate their understanding of relevant regulation, safety guidelines, and the best practices related to explosive use in the construction. Experience requirement. Some jurisdiction may require a specific amount of practical experience in explosive blasting before granting a license. Background check. Applicant for blasting license may undergo background check to ensure they have no criminal record or history of unsafe practices. Renewal and continual education. Blasting license may have expiration date. Blasting license may have expiration date. Require periodical renewal. Applicant may need to complete continuing education and refresher course to maintain their qualification. Insurance and bonding. In some cases, individuals or company involved in explosive blasting must pay liability insurance and bonding to protect against potential harassment or damage. Authorization for specific explosive. Some explosive required additional authorization or permit for their specific use depending on their type or intended for application. Site specific permit for each blasting operation. There may be a specific or site specific permit required. Include permit to related to the specific project, location, and environmental conditions. Compliance with safety regulation. License holders are expected to comply with all safety regulation, use approved method, and implement safety measures to prevent accident and protect worker and the public. It is essential for individual and construction companies to fully understand and comply with all local, regional, and national regulations regarding explosive use in construction. Failure to do so can result in legal consequences, fine, and or the suspension of the blasting operation. Working with qualified and licensed ex- explosive blaster and adherence to safety protocol is crucial to ensure the safe and successful use of explosive in construction project. Next topic is 4.17 shoring activities. शोरिंग एक्टिविटीज कोई पढ़ेगा? कोई पढ़ लो आगे 4.17. हेलो हेलो मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
आ रहा है सर.
तो 4.17 पढ़ो कोई. 4.17 shoring
Shoring is
activity.
sir, shoring activity Shoring is a construction technique you use it to provide temporary support to excavation, trenches, or other structures to prevent collapse and ensure the safety of workers when using and operating machinery and equipment for shoring. It is essential to um, prioritize
Prioritize the safety.
prioritize the safety. Here are some key considerations for ensuring safety in using and operating machinery and equipment for shoring.
Hmm. Equipment selection.
Equipment selection: choose appropriate machinery and equipment based on the specific requirements of the shoring project. This may include selecting the right type of shoring system, such as hydraulic shoring, timber shoring, or trench boxes. Ensure that the equipment is in good working conditions, regularly inspected and properly maintained. Ensuring and bonding: in some cases, individuals or companies involved in explosive blasting must carry liability insurance and bonding to protect against potential accident and damages. Eighth, authorization for specific explosives. Some explosives require additional authorizations or permits for their specific use depending on their type and intended application. Ninth is site-specific permits. For each blasting operation, there may be site-specific permit required, including permits related to the specific project, location and environmental
कहाँ पढ़ रहे हो?
considerations.
पेज नंबर 75 चल रहा था ना?
हाँ सर, 75 में 9th वाला सर, साइट स्पेसिफिक परमिट्स.
नाइट. ओके. 9th तो आपका है ट्रेनिंग एंड कॉम्पिटेंसीज है.
नहीं सर,
पेज
75
नंबर
पे
75 का ये हो चुका ना. इक्विपमेंट सिलेक्शन, देन ऑपरेटर ट्रेनिंग आएगा 76 पे. फर्स्ट पॉइंट ऑपरेटर ट्रेनिंग.
यस सर, वो मेरे पास डबल प्रिंट आ गया, प्रिंट ले गया है.
अच्छा. नहीं, ऑपरेटर ट्रेनिंग.
Operator training provide through training to equipment operators and workers involved in shoring activities. Ensure they are properly trained on the safe operation of the equipment, including understanding equipment controls, safety feature, and operating procedures specific to shoring operations. Third one, personal protective equipment (PPE). All personnel involved in shoring operations should wear appropriate PPE to protect
appropriate PPE themselves.
appropriate themselves from potential hazards. They may include hard hats, safety glasses, high visibility clothing, gloves, and steel toe boots. Site assessment and planning. Conduct a comprehensive assessment of the work area before initiating shoring activity. Identify potential hazards such as unstable soil, overhead obstructions, or nearby utilities. Develop a detailed plan for the installation and installation, maintenance, and removal of the shoring system. Considering factors like load capacities, spacing, and bracing requirements. Stability and load capacity. Ensure that the shoring system is designed and installed to withstand the anticipated load and maintain stability. Follow engineering specification and manufacture guidelines for proper selection, installation, and maintenance of the shoring equipment. 6.1 Inspection and maintenance. Regularly inspect the shoring equipment to ensure it remains in good working conditions. Check for sign of wear, damage or malfunction, and address any issues promptly maintain a record of inspection and repairs. Communication and conditions. Establish clear
Coordination.
coordination. Sorry, communication and coordination. Establish and clear communication channels between equipment operators, workers, and supervisor involved in shoring operations. Ensure that everyone understand their roles and responsibilities and can communicate effectively. Use standardized hand signal or other communication method as necessary. Emergency preparedness. Develop and communicate an emergency response plan specific to shoring activities, including procedures for addressing potential accident, injury, or equipment failures. Ensure that first aid kit, fire extinguisher, and emergency contact information are readily available on site. Training and competency. Ensure that all personnel involved in shoring operators are adequately trained and competent in their respective roles. Provide ongoing training and refresh course to keep workers updated on best practices and safety procedure. Regularly compliance. Adhere to relevant safety regulations, code, and industrial standards for shoring activities. Family, familiarize yourself with local regulations and guidelines to ensure compliance with legal requirement. By following these safety measures and promoting a culture of safety on construction site, the risk associated with shoring activity can be minimized, and a safe working environmental can be maintained for all personnel involved. Regular training through inspection and effective communication are essential for ensuring the successful and safe execution of shoring operations.
Okay. So shore operation completed. Now we move to the shuttering activity.
Yes, sir.
हे सपना माझा मोबाईल देशील बरं हे काय झालं मग काय झालं हो तुझं का मला ती रिक्वेस्ट अप्रूव्ह करणं 3 वा 15 मिनिटापूर्वी पाठवली होती बंद झालं माझं सिस्टम चालू आहे.
अच्छा मग पण खेड्या सारे
हॅलो
हेलो
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Now I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we move to the shuttering activity. It is screen is visible now.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Hello. Hmm.
Yes, sir. Visible. Yes, visible, sir. Visible.
Okay. So shuttering, also known as framework, it is a temporary structure used in construction to mold and support freshly poured concrete until it attains sufficient strength to support itself. The process involves setting up a framework or mold, that is called shuttering, to hold the concrete in a desired shape. During the curing process, here are the key steps involved in the structural operation are design and planning. Before starting the shuttering operation, the construction team must plan and design the framework system based on the required shape and dimension of the concrete structure. Second, material selection. Choose appropriate material for the framework such as timber, plywood, metal, or plastic based on the type of structure, concrete load, budget constraint. Fabrication framework. Fabrication of framework. Cut selected material into required shape and size to create the framework component. Assemble the framework pieces to construct the complete shuttering structure or system. Inspection and quality control. Inspect the framework component to ensure they are in good condition, free from defect, and meet the design specification. Placement and alignment. Place the framework in its designated position. Ensure it is level, straight, and securely anchored to prevent shifting during concrete placement. Shuttering tiles and support. Use tie and support to hold the framework together and maintain the desired shape while concrete is poured or cured. Release agent application. Apply a release agent on the inner surface of the framework to prevent the concrete from sticking to the shuttering and allow for easy removal later. Concrete pouring. Pour the concrete in the framework, taking care to avoid leaks or air pocketed. Use appropriate vibration equipment to ensure proper compaction, consolidated and finishing of concrete pouring, consolidate the concrete to eliminate air bubbles and achieve a smooth surface finish as required. Curing period allows sufficient time for the concrete to cure and gain the strength before removing the framework. The curing period may vary based on the type of concrete mix and environmental condition. Framework removal. Carefully remove the framework after the concrete has reached the required strength. Remove the tiles and support without causing damage to concrete. Framework cleaning and storage. Clean the framework component thoroughly after use to remove concrete residue. Properly store the framework for future use. Ensure it remain is in good condition. Reuse and recycle whenever possible. Reuse the framework component in other project to reduce the waste and save cost. Alternatively, recycle framework material to minimize the environmental impact. Safety measure. Follow safety protocols during the entire shuttering operation to protect the worker from potential hazards associated with the framework handling and concrete pouring. Shuttering an essential aspect of construction and allowing concrete to take the desired shape and form. Proper planning, quality material, and safe work practices crucial for success of shuttering operation and the overall construction project. 14. Safety measure. 4.19 safety measures in shoring and shuttering. Shoring and shuttering are crucial construction practices or activities used to provide support and frame for excavation, trench, and concrete structure. Ensure safety during shoring and shuttering activity is crucial to prevent accident, structural failure, and injury to worker. Here are some essential safety measures in shoring structure. First, proper planning and design. Conduct a thorough assessment of the site and intended construction to determine the appropriate shoring and shuttering requirement. Properly plan and design the shoring and framework system to support the load condition. Qualified personnel. Shoring and shuttering activity should be carried out by trained personnel and experienced personnel who understand the technique and safety protocol involved. Inspection and maintenance. Regular inspect and maintain shoring equipment and framework to ensure that they are in a good working condition and safe to use. Compliance with standard. Follow relevant industry standard and guidelines for shoring and framework such as provided by OSHA, Occupational Safety and Health Administration, and other relevant regulatory authorities. Proper shoring installation. Ensure that shoring components are properly installed and secured according to the manufacturer instructions and in designs. Adequate shoring strength. Use shoring component with sufficient strength to support the load they will bear. Shoring stability. Secure shoring system against movement or displacement during construction. Monitoring and adjustment. Regularly monitor the shoring and framework during the construction process and make adjustment as needed to maintain the stability. Safe removal of shoring. When removing shoring, do it gradually and in accordance with well-planned sequences to prevent sudden collapse or shift in the structure. Proper framework removal. Allow adequate time for concrete to cure and gain sufficient strength before moving framework. Follow proper procedure for framework removal to avoid damage the concrete and endangering the worker. Guardrail and toe boards. Install guardrail and toe board on elevated working platform to prevent fall. Personal protective equipment. Require worker to wear appropriate PPE such as hard hats, safety goggles, gloves, and fall protection gear when working with shoring and framework. Clear communication. Ensure clear communication between worker involved in the shoring and shuttering activity to avoid misunderstanding and potential accident. Training and awareness. Provide comprehensive training to the worker on the safe use of shoring and framework system. Raise awareness about potential hazard and safe practice. Emergency rescue plan. Develop and communicate an emergency response plans to handle unforeseen accident or incident during shoring and shuttering activities. By following these safety measures and implementing the best practices, construction team can achieve or ensure the safety and efficiency of shoring and framework operation, reducing the risk of accident and injuries on construction site. तो यहाँ तक 4.19 खत्म हुआ. अब 4.20 कितना बचा हुआ चैप्टर? हम यही रुक जाते हैं. कल हम 4.21 से शुरू कर.
ठीक है सर.
4.20 हाँ 4.20 और शुरू करते हैं. चलो
ओके सर.
तो गुड नाइट एवरीवन. आज
Good night,
कम लोग
sir.
ज्वाइन किए थे कि 4 ही लोग हैं, यानी 3 ही लोग हैं, मेरे को मिला कि 4 हो गए.
नहीं सर, है तो सभी लोग
पता
हैं.
नहीं अभी क्या 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 कर रहे हैं लोग. ओके चले, गुड नाइट.